thamjeriba thorumsi unveiling of monolith of Manipuri cinema haibasini nung hongbagi thorumsi maruena honggadoriba nungsimak laiwoi kraba Manipuri cinema gi lamyan basing makoigi thawai sing nungsiraba thawai sing dugi mapamda leijahuri bai khoina thamoi sengna mittagi pitana kachabani moina thabiramba pambi dunane asidi masa maring pharaktana mahi yalaktana Manipuri cinema na che yang kai chupna chachabangam leba sinahan ba thorom boina sigi mathangda inauguration of SN Chan Sin Archive and Museum Lady Auditorium Sigi matak thamba first floor da lady vault room amadi laboratory mapam sida ngasigi SN Chan ningsing jaraga Manipur gi ahan ba Manipuri film director hariba sakna reba ngasidi aikoi gi director leitraba film maker si ningsing jaraga mahaki mamingda film archive ma duga museum ma handuk sebi thorom sinani shu thorom boina ngasigi ahan ba yuki session gi auditorium sigi mapa namadi matak thangba sarukta pangtok jagadoriba thorum singi hariba thorum animaksi ngasigi chief guest when election bigada Manipur gi kai khuna jirba honorable chief minister Shri Nongthomam Biren Singhona madu ahan ba oibiraga aduga ngasigi president guest of honor oibigada walloina lakbiriba ngasigi special invitee sing aduga ikone kai khuna jirba Manipur film gidamak laibiriba be punamakna yaubiraga leisu katpadagi horaga tasena ngasigi asengba senglaba numisida pangtok jagadu thorum sida saru yabiri yabigani punamakku thagachari loinana thorum sida lakbiriba khwai punamakku tarang nokchari
Chahi ama chukna pangthok jagadoriba Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema ngasigi inaugural program asigi mathang sitna chief guest president amadi guest of honor oina lingshin bigadoriba sing ahanbada thorom asigi chief guest oina ikai kunajariba honorable chief minister Shri N Biren Singh ngasigi thorom asigi president ni fampham langda lingshin bigadoriba honorable deputy chief minister Manipur Shri Y Joy Kumar Singh amasung guest of honor oina mathang sitna Srimati Manju Bora filmmaker amasung Shri Sevendra Singh Dungarpur founder director Film Heritage Foundation ikai kunazariba mitunglen sing asina mathang sitna chief guest president amadi guest of honor gi fampham langda election bigani
hojik ngasigi chief guest when election bigada honorable chief minister Shri N Biren Singh hojik auditorium gi manungda sangbirakna bagi madugi chapchaba red carpet welcome du hojik aikoi gi sinjariba Manipur State Film Development Society gi official single loinena madu pangthok jarba matung sigi mathangda ngasigi thorom segi president when election bigadaba Shri Y Joy Kumar Singh honorable deputy chief minister Manipur Srimati Manju Bora filmmaker loinena Shri Sevendra Singh Dungarpur founder director Film Heritage Foundation hojik mathang auditorium sigi manungda sangbirak-lagani loinena ahan boina thamjariba screening of Golden Jubilee signature film sigi mathangda minute tara muk shangba journey of Manipuri cinema hariba film sing asi ahan boina screening tawjarba matung aduga chapchaba formal function du screening just after the screening of the signature and journey of Manipuri cinema film khoi haujanabagi madugi tanja du lojagani
Ladies and gentlemen, would like to request to please honor and welcome the Honorable Chief Minister Shri N Biren Singh, the respected chief guest of today's function, and respected President, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Manipur Shri Y Joy Kumar Singh.
Hozik ngasigi thorum sigi Pantok Manipur State Film Development Society na sinjeriba Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema Pantok thorum sigi chief guest wana lengsin bigada Sri N Brain Singh Honorable Chief Minister Manipur Hozik auditorium gi manung lengsin birapag lonyana hana ne kone semjeriba phom langda lengsin biri lonyana thorum sigi president wana lengsin bigada Sri Y Kumar Singh Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Manipur Hozik mapam si Yogirale lengsin bire Sharsu lengsin bire lonyana Srimati Manju Bora filmmaker ngasigi guest of honor amadi Sri Shivendra Singh Dungarpur, founder director Film Heritage Foundation ngasi guest of honor wana lengsin bire Hariba dignitary Marimak ikon hana semjer phom lang lengsin bire
Ladies and gentlemen, would like to request to please be seated.
Lakpiriba khwai punamak isa-isagi phom langda amutang lengsin bine na bahan boina naruksari loinana hek lengsin bibaga khoi thorum si haujana bi khudong sa abdul lokjege
Lengshin biriba khwai pumnamakpu ahanbamaktada khurumjari. Pumnamaki ahanbada Manipur sanapung mayolda ngathoibiriba Sri Radha Govinda anigi charanda changzaraga amasung lamdam asibu konbiriba ibudau purei rombabu khubak changjau tara lonaduna khurumjaraga pangthokliba thoramasi soida ngamda pinabiyu nizari amadi mangda lengshin biriba khwai pumnamakna pangjadrabida sinabiriba sinthasi pangthokjabada soikilankiba yauraba ngakpi heiba kauba kunna ngakpiyu haizari hangla atiya makoida nasik nangal yeliba malim sin nangal hanba lengli pali pumbagi thawai mirel bibiba nangna keku lotpada malim sin thungbabu musuk munna mammido korong nongma kawido lepnai daba nangi tapna yangba khongthangna nongma chayol thabum tarani thoina kumja ama oirido nongma korong nongjada nasik nangal marakta amu machagi nausumda manmohangi nausum isaida maru ihun tamki matamgi Manipur cinema pokhi asumna cinema Manipurgi cinema kumja yangkai surenido mathang sahihi namiksi maktada matamgi Manipurgi cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries, I on behalf of Manipur State Film Development Society would like to extend the very warm and heartiest welcome to each one of you present here on the inaugural program of the year-long Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema.
Lakpiriba khwai punamak sinjeriba Manipur State Film Development Society gi maikidegi adombo ngasigi thorum sitaram oksari loinena haujek ahanbada thamjeriba thorum si screening of Golden Jubilee signature film followed by a short 10-minute film on the journey of Manipuri cinema. Haibasini ngasigi screening anisi ahan boina thorum sigi hoktok sarap matamda lakpiriba election biriba kai khomje khwai punapki mapamda kulor tabjari.
In 1991, Ishano, a Manipuri feature film directed by legendary filmmaker Aribam Syam Sharma, was screened in the In Certain Regard section of the Cannes Film Festival. It is one of the highest honors ever shown to a Manipuri film. Manipuri cinema, considering that the first feature film, Matamgi Manipur, was released in 1972, has traveled a long journey of half a century. However, way back in 1936, Maharaj Kumar sowed the seeds of filmmaking in Manipur when he started shooting short documentaries with his 8mm Bell and Howell movie camera.
Maruina cinema is the book is blend of white nick, Aduga Punung Manungi or Aduga Imasi, Aquena Yamna Nushina Swanjadi Imasi Binodini, Yamangan Pimasam when a Madada, Quizet Sapa, and the game Sawana Tonga Sapa, Jungle Lamwe Sapa.
In 1946, an unsuccessful attempt was made by the Sri Sri Govindaji Film Company to make a Manipuri film, Memento. 9 reels of the film were screened at Imphal Talkies. The tempo died down to a low ebb for many years before a fresh enthusiasm was born. The passion and commitment of Karang Monomohan in producing films bore fruit with the making of a documentary, My Paksan of Manipur, and then a feature film, Matamgi Manipur, directed by Kumar Bose from Kolkata. The first public screening of Matamgi Manipur was held on 9th April 1972, setting the official birth of Manipuri cinema. The day is now celebrated as Mami Numit. Chand is credited as the first Manipuri to direct a feature film, Rosendragi Luhumba, completed in the same year as Matamgi Manipur. A dedicated cine enthusiast, Chand later directed another feature film, Ngak Iku Nangse, in 1974. Sharma was a true lover of cinema and played a pivotal role in pushing forward the film movement in Manipur. He devised indigenous ways of making films and even developed his own processing lab. He shot, developed, edited, and directed numerous documentaries and shorts in the 1960s. A few films were even made in color. Ibohal Sharma later teamed up with Aribam Syam Sharma and produced and shot the iconic Manipuri film, Imagi Ningthem. Aribam Syam Sharma is the pioneer who has established Manipuri cinema at the national and global platforms. Made in 1981, Imagi Ningthem, My Son, My Precious, won the Grand Prix at Nantes.
c'est bien la supériorité d'ensemble de toute une production qui, hier soir, a été saluée à travers le lauréat Aribam Sharma. Aribam Sharma est professeur de philosophie, chanteur, compositeur et l'un des rares réalisateurs de l'État du Manipur.
Both Imaginingten and Ishano were screened at major international film festivals, apart from winning multiple national awards. Today, Manipuri cinema misses the scripting talent of the renowned literary personality Maharaj Kumari Binodini Devi. Her work with Aribam Siam Sharma bestowed some of the greatest films in the repository of Manipuri cinema: Olang Thagiwang Madasu, Imaginingten, Ishano, Sanabi, and Sangai the Dancing Deer. M.A. Singh, the first Manipuri filmmaker coming out of Film and Television Institute of India, Pune, is another leading figure of the celluloid era. His film, Sanakaitel, made in 1983, stood out at the 31st National Film Festival. He is also credited for making the first Manipuri feature film in color, Langling Tadoy, in 1984. Pioneering filmmakers of the celluloid era contributed immensely in shaping the future of Manipuri cinema with their ingenuity in storytelling and projections of the Manipuri society through films. Today, we revere the dedication of G. Narayan Sharma, Laimyum Banka Sharma, Murangthim Nilamani, and Laimyum Surjakanta Sharma, among others. Filmmaking suffered extensively in Manipur following a ban on screening of Hindi films in the cinema halls of the state by a prescribed group in 2000. Most of the theatres were forced to shut down and many people in the industry lost their jobs. Consequently, this led to the popularity of low-budget filmmaking in video format. It was the time when digital technology was coming up in a big way. The so-called digital film movement in Manipur started in 2002 with the film Lamai, directed by Okenamakcham and O. Gautam. It was theatrically released and became commercially successful. Suddenly, there was a boom of digital films. At one point of time, Manipur was producing nearly 300 feature films in digital format. Mami Sami, directed by Ningthoja Lancha, charmed the critics and audience alike to the possibilities of digital format as a sustainable medium for a small state like Manipur.
See who is here?
Pizigi Mani, directed by O. Gautam, heralded a new chapter in Manipuri cinema, winning 2 national awards including Best Supporting Actress for Tontoi. A major movement of documentary filmmaking came up parallel to the narrative cinema. AFSPA 1958, directed by Haubam Pavan Kumar and produced by Sanju Bachaspati Neum, became the first Manipuri film to win the Swarna Kamal at the 56th National Film Awards. It was soon followed by a bunch of talented filmmakers who reflected on the socio-political situation of the state. Ronel Haubam, Alexander Leopao, Oinam Doren, Rumi Mitay, Subhash E, Meena Longjam, Borun Tokchom, Sonia Nipram, Maibam Amarjit, and others. Writings on cinema from the state have also received national recognition. R.K. Bidur, Megachandra Kumbam, and Bobby Wahengbam have been awarded the Swarna Kamal for their literature on cinema. Among the young and upcoming filmmakers, Haubam Pavan Kumar is shouldering a huge responsibility representing Manipur in many prestigious film events across the globe. In 2016, his debut feature, Luktak Lairimbi, set a benchmark when it was screened at the 67th Berlin International Film Festival. There is no dearth of talented and passionate filmmakers in Manipur, but only a few films make a mark in the national and global circuit. This is largely due to a lack of exposure among the filmmakers to the new age technologies, as well as marketing and fundraising strategies that can take the films beyond the borders of Manipur.
Looking at the future and to take Manipuri cinema to the next level, the society has recently come up with a scheme and has placed a proposal to the government that will nurture and mentor and skill our storytellers so that we can tell our stories in a global platform.
Cinema is regarded as one of the most important of all the art forms that expresses human culture, having the ability to produce our thoughts, knowledge, and worldviews. The journey of Manipuri cinema is turning 50 years, and this milestone is being celebrated with a vision for its growth. I congratulate the film community of the state and wish the celebration a grand success.
Well, that was a glimpse of the journey of Manipuri cinema, and today we are reaching the 50 years of Manipuri cinema, and we are celebrating it together. And thank you once again, and welcome you all once again. So now I would like to invite the respected chief guest of today's function, Honorable Chief Minister Shri N. Biren Singh, to come on to dais and occupy the distinguished chair, and along with the would like to request Sri Y. Joy Kumar Singh, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Manipur, to preside the function, and the respected guest of honor, Srimati Manju Bora, filmmaker, and Sri Savendra Singh Dungarpur, Founder Director, Film Heritage Foundation, to please come up onto dais and occupy the distinguished chair.
Ngasigi Chief Guest Hoina, Lengsen Begitaba Sri N. Biren Singh, Honorable Chief Minister Manipur, President for Lengsen Begitaba Sri Y. Joy Kumar Singh, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Manipur, Loinana Srimati Manju Bora from Makar, Amadi Sri Savendra Singh Dungarpur, founder director Film Heritage Foundation asi guest of honor winning sin begadaba punamak aikona semjariba daista hojik lengsin bere loinena haunabi matungina Manipur Film Development Society gi maike degini to do the honor hojik lengsin bere chief guest president amadi guest of honor singi mapamda aikoi honor tobagi tanjaduni honor tobinabagi demak society gi maike degi Siri Oken Amaksham renowned filmmaker Loinena National Awardee Lengsenberg. Stole, bouquet, memento, amadi gift hamper. Asigi Lengsenberg chief guest president amadi guest of honor singi mapamda matang kudol tamsagani.
So we are presenting a Golden Jubilee memento. The origin of the Golden Jubilee memento dates back to the Silver Jubilee celebration logo of Manipuri cinema. It was designed specifically for the celebration by Kumar, who was a multifaceted artist. The logo portrays a woman on her head carrying a firuk, an essential element in Manipuri marriages, giving a festive fervor. For the Golden Jubilee celebration, without forfeiting the essence of the original, a touch of sketchy contour is being arched. The artwork is by Robin Wahingbam, who also designed the monolith column dedicated to cine artists and cine workers of Manipuri cinema.
Ngasigi kai khumna jariba das election beriba chief guest president amadi guest of honor singi mapamda Manipur State Film Development Society gi maike digi langjariba khudor pol sing matang khutol tamjarba matungda lakiriba khoi punmaki punin sinjaraga asigi pangthok jerba Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema hariba chahi machupna pangthok adu thorum si pangthok jerba matamda Kulau palau dan naba, kuai degi hen mabung pahaba, aduga kuai degi hen cinglim laba fajar bathorum mas, cai cupna pantuk sebasi, oi bangam nanda bagi demakta ngasi sempi bamapugi mapam dani, maira cukatna thorum se hautok sebagi tanjatu lapacari.
May I now request the respected Chief Guest President and Guest of Honor on the dais to kindly light the auspicious lamp.
Moibungi Pajarabanat Kiweba, Saisuk Siga, Lunana Adungi Mangda, as is Sukachari Mera Sina, Sapchaba Wasak to Oidaga Quena Sahi Machupna Pantok Sagadum Turum Si, quite Mapum Pava, Toramamu in behind, Sembi Mapugi Mapunda, Krumzari, Lunana, Pantok Turum Sigi, Langberakliba Quai Punamapu, Taram Opa, Lunana, Karigidamak, Nasigi, Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema pangthoklibano haibagi nungi oiba waklol thambinabagidamag hoji MSFDS ki secretary wena thaupu biriba Sunju Basaspati Marium Kosinjari. Niyampuna buku nolokchari lamtagi kunipani panba irai nimit yaifaraba baruni numitsu oiriba April ki tang mapan mami numit haina film gi thomi ekhoina leptuna pangthoktuna lakliba Manipuri cinema gi puwari ga sagonaraba numit asida Manipur gi film community amadi Golden Jubilee Celebration Committee asigi celebration committee Manipur State Film Development Society gi Maut Sinduna Mayam Punamaku Taramna Okpagi Tanja Pangjaba Thodok Hendokna Laibak Pavani Manipur Sinmana Chahi Yankai Surpagi Golden Jubilee Celebration Hogdokpagi Nungairaba Numit Asida Chief Guest ki Famam Langda Dengsin Biriba Society Asigi Chairperson Su Biriba Manipur ki Honorable Chief Minister Sri Nongthombam Biren Singh Bu Taramna Okchari Inaugural Thoram Asigi President Manipur State Film Development Society gi secretary wena thopu biriba current secretary ngasigi lapiriba khwai punamaki mapamdani welcome address aduga pangthok seri pathorum sigi nongi waklon one talk and the current meaning hajage keynote address tambe thak cha pangthok seri.
Now we would like to take a moment to honor and felicitate the veteran filmmaker, and first would like to see something about the producer, director, screenwriter, music director, actor, and national awardee Aribam Shyam Sharma. Best known as the jewel of Manipuri cinema, Sri Aribam Shyam Sharma, the maker of Isano, created a sensation at the 1992 Cannes Film Festival. He enshrined Manipur in the map of global cinema with his imagining theme. He received the Montgolfier d'Or at the Festival of Three Continents, Nantes in 1982. A recipient of numerous awards and recognitions, he is still an active filmmaker since his cinema journey with the first Manipuri feature film.
Bangtoksari pathorum sigi soul thawaini haidana koina longjeru Manipuri cinema gi father Manipuri cinema haina meyamna haibibada tasengna magune henna wanglaba babung Aribam Shyam Sharma ngasigi thorum si yaubinabagidamak lengbira ambabane ki thorumda lay katpa yaurma matung amuk hangre maruena imungda laytaba ma yaubadagi handaba yadaba thadokpelaba circumstances tu lakpana maram moiraga babungi mapamda ngasi bangtoksariba chai yankai surpagi Manipuri cinema gi khongsat sida babungna pibiriba contribution si immensely madu pibiba simsi gi damakta cinema gi damak Manipuri film gi damak senjariba chongjariba khoi punamakna babungi mapamdani ikai khumnajaba uchaba matam kudingmakta laman tole hain mana akhoi da phaujai punamakki nungsiba punamaksi babungi mapamda madu kachari aduga tasena asigi tindok sagadoriba lantok sagadoriba achamba kudol port sing punamaksi official oina babungi mapamda akhoi yohon janana ba tinjana ba madumsu honajage haina punamakki mapam naluksari babungi mapam naluksari.
Next, we need not say about Dev Kumar ji. The whole film industry of Manipur is vibrating and echoing your presence till today. Dev Kumar Bose is the director of Manipur's first feature film, Matamgi Manipur, which was released in 9th April 1972. The film received the National Award from the President of India. In 2018, he was awarded the prestigious Karam Manomohan Lifetime Achievement Award for his extraordinary contribution in carving a fine body of work in Matamgi Manipur, and for the dedicated service he has rendered for the growth of regional and national cinema.
Ngasigi aikoina Manipuri film gi damakta asukumatik chawna mating pangbiriba saruk yabiriba outstanding personality sing felicitation tawjabagi thorum sida Sri Dev Kumar Bose ji hojik lengbirakna aikoi pangtok seri thorum si mapamdani hijik stage ka kapirakle ikai khumna jabuchari loinana ngasigi ikai khumnabagi thorum sida lantok chagedoriba nungsijaraba token of love ne punamaksi honorable chief minister ngasigi chief guest wena lengsen beriba Sri N Biren Singhona matamutang kudol tambina bagidam nalusari. Bukema hanboina ikai khumnajariba Sri Dev Kumar Bose ji maki mapam de stolma Memento ma loinana citation ma sagna reba filmmaker Sri Dev Kumar Bose ji ki mapam de kudol tamjare.
And next, would like to request actor, director, respected Yankom Roma to be on the dais. Regarded as the face of Manipuri feature film in the celluloid era, Srimati Y. Roma is one among the earliest superstar actors. She has proved her mettle with super hits like Lamjar Parshuram, Olang Thagi Wang Madasu Paukum Ama, and Mayofigi Macha.
Yankom Roma Manipur film gi thadok na bayadraba khwadi tanglaba actor ni ngasi pangthok sariba Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipur cinema na chehi yankai surupagi nungai thorum sel ji lengbirakpa ji stage lengkat perkle loinana Manipur State Film Development Society gi sinjariba thorum sub sinjariba organization sigi maikai degeni saknai rebi renowned Manipur film gi actor director gi mapamda hauzik ikai khumna jabu chabu ina langjariba kodol posing mathang mathang honorable chief minister asigi chief guest na khulur tambi Sakna Director, Yankom Roma Taksaba Pondokchari, Lonian Honorable Chief Minister, Taksaba Pondokchari.
Now I would like to request respected Dev Kumar, Bose and Yankom Roma and the respected Chief Guest, President and Guest of Honor of today's function to please release the Golden Jubilee souvenir.
Aikoina Semjeriba Golden Jubilee say Yankai Surupagi souvenir si Ngasigi Lingsin Biriba Ahan Bada Suri Dev Kumar Bose ji Yankom Roma Devi, Sakna Director, Lunena, Ngasigi, Dice Lingsin Bari Chief Guest, President of the Guest of Honor Singna, Punna, officially Ngasigi souvenir. Lingsin Biriba Kwai Punamakima from the release of Wigani. Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema gi maramdani mapungwena maru eba article kaya yauraba souvenir hojik official wena myamang da phongdok charab matung.
Now I would like to request respected Dev Kumar Bose ji. We would like to hear something from you, sir.
Asthma patient is wearing mask. It's very difficult to take the breath. So can't help. You know, Calcutta is corona is going on very much, so we have to take the protection. Okay, namaskar to all of you, the Chief Minister, and you, I'm very glad that I meet you, all of you. Just a short speech for me. I'm taking the paper. 9th April 1972 was a milestone day for Manipur. Applause it. This is the milestone day of Manipur. The first Manipuri film, Mathungi Manipur, was released. Today, 9th April 2021, I stand up again to celebrate the Golden Jubilee of Manipur film industry. Dreams come true. Dreams come true. Nobody can believe that Manipur will produce feature film. But I came here and I enjoy that I make them. I'm glad that they have come me and honored me. I thank Honorable Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister, and other distinguished for inviting me to the celebration. I thank Manipuri Film Development Society and other organizations. excitement is make me asthma. Manju, you understand? Excitement is always bad for human beings. Anyhow, when I thought to making a film in Manipuri language, a few friends in Calcutta had asked me, without knowing, how you can make a Manipuri films? Okay, sir, I know the film language. Understand, Manju? I know the film language. I told them, when they saw the film, they amazed. How, without knowing the language, how one can make a film and direct, how it is possible. Because of film language is there, that is the international language of filmmaking. I further told them that my father, that great Devaki Kumar Bose, the pioneer of Indian film industry, who told me, "Don't shudu nore, kotha bole chok." That lips just move. Listen to me. Lips just move. The eyes do the talking. After looking at the eyes, one can understand what the heart wants. Do you follow me? Do you follow what I say? It is a film technique I am going to tell you. I got film technician from Calcutta. When I want to make the film, I got lots of problems. But finding artists was so difficult. I began searching for new talented artists. After some time, I got few boys and girls who taught them how to act before camera. Do you understand? It was very difficult. They never faced the camera. How to act before movie, before camera, before sound system. It was so difficult. I taught them, and 6 months workshop was there to train them. I was so happy to find such talented people in Manipur. They were excellent. They helped me realize our dream. Matungi, Manipur was created. I want applause. I want applause from my audience, because that first Manipuri film was released. I thank my producer Kadam Mohan for making the film. He helped me a lot. Uska family ko koi aaya hai? Mohan Kadam ka? Oh, you are there. Yeah. I would also like my team of friends who are part of the film. Sam Sharma ji, he is not present. Sam Sharma, Rama, he helped me a lot. Abraham Samarandu, Bir Babu, Rishi, Ravindra Sharma, Ved Mori, Indra Beda, Tamabum, Baby Artist, Amita, and others. One person who inspired me the most was my wife, Shipra Bose, who left us just few months ago. Oh, she came here to Manipur 2018 and enjoyed. And he has seen Manipuri people. She loved Manipur and people of Manipur. I have learned from Manipur. I got the first national award for these Manipuri films. I got so many awards, but first films I got the national award, that is Matungi Manipuri. I am proud of that. Being a Bengali, I came here to make films and I'm successful. Government of India honored me by giving national award. I want applause from you, not for me, for the Manipuri film. You should enjoy the Manipuri films and film industry. One thing before saying anything, God has given us body and mind. Keep your body healthy and a beautiful mind. Try to create one thing. Remember, it was told by my father, great father, try to create, don't manufacture films. It is a very big art, as the Chief Minister said, it is a big, very big media. Please try to create, don't manufacture, and you will be success. You know, a film director, an artist, always they are very much emotional. Emotional will create. Without emotion, we cannot survive. And I asked, I do not know any new filmmaker is there. I said, you enjoy the world, see the river, see the mountain, see the valleys, and be romantic to make films. This is my advice, all of you. Be romantic, otherwise you can't make movies. I thank you. I could have told you more because I am an asthma patient. That's why I have to stop my speech. My son, producer's son is there. He will warn me not to be emotional too much. But without emotion, one cannot do any creation. Do you understand? I thank you. Thagada-chari. I do not know. I try to understand. Because when I came to, when they are speaking to me, and that mic is there, you know, when I am giving the training, they were looking this, as I am looking this, away from mine. But I trained them how to act before camera, how to move, how to stand, composition, film composition. What is composition? I am very glad that Manipuri artists are very talented. As the Manipuri dance, Manipuri sports, wonderful. So, emotional people come to Calcutta, from Calcutta to see you. Perhaps this is my last visit to you. I am 87, but I want to come very often to you. I asked my son, producer, to help me, to bring me, because I lost my wife, but my emotion is there. Please create, make Manipuri film industry in a world platform, and don't forget, don't manufacture, don't make it commercial. You will be enjoy the creation, it will learn. The film can give you very things. It can develop the country. A minister is there. Through film you can develop society. You through film, what you want to say, you can do it. So develop the film industry. I thank you, the Film Development Society. They are taking this Golden Jubilee celebrations. So my friends, my lover, my artist, Rama is there. I should conclude my speech because I am a little emotional. Anyhow, good luck. God bless you. One day I want to see the Manipuri film in the world best, and this is my dream, and dream will one day come true. I believe in heart, the Manipuri film industry will be one day the top of the Indian cinema and top of the world cinema. That is my last desire to do you. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Sir Kumar Bose ji. Your kind presence at the very outset of Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipur cinema is immense. Thank you once again. Sigi matunda ngasigi election biribi Manipur film gi kai khumna jaribi actor director Chemaroma Yankom Roma election birkani ngasi pangtuk jariba thorum Manipur cinema na sehi yang kai surupa sigi pangtuk jariba thorum simari lenina wafam kharadang thambina bugidamur nolukna hangachari. Ladies and gentlemen, Ichema Yankom Roma.
Ngasigi Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema asigi ngasigi dais lengsin bidiba Honorable Chief Minister ahanbada ehakna ikai khunaba uchari mathangda Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Gimatunda, Srimati Manju, Bora, filmmaker, aduga Sivendra Singh Dangarpur, founder director, Film Heritage Foundation, Dais the links and Bibapun Pusutun Jaragayana, Ikakunabo Chedi. Nasi siam su emotional oy. Aksi nungai basiam nungai badegi hendukana nungai kapning banabu henna. I want the power brain a kali. Nasi the yina Zahi Yankhi Mamanda 1971 da Equina Calcutta Matamduda Equigi Bangladeski Land Habitat Madugi Matamgi Iranian lading at the Calcutta Tamarum Subnalergayam Nawana Plamas Namkivani Aquina Studio the Ginundam Halapomatam the May Tanbayade Pura Calcutta Sorasi Blackout Tawi Aduna Akogi Gari Sorok the Ziliba Punama as a May Tanba Matayade Makada Makagi quick parking light to Talaga Yam wana Yam tap na Kunele Mapam to Elgin Road I did the lake Madu the Laga Yam wana Namkiba Adugumba Equigi Manipuri Pilamni Nasi is a young cases in Cray. I have now artist summer winner. I have not come with the house of a Malay. I could give Manipuri cinema say. I could give Ting Horabasu. I must eat that the night in Sunny Man, so I have Ting Horabasu. In the Agi Oina, Duga, Malengi on so Hazabatai. In the Agi Oina so Yam Ting missing Yam Zedana. I could loan se Kangba, me Yam Zetaba Pilamamo and Ting the Torah Abasu. I could my partner put okay, night the lousy. Carino, I couldn't Yana Putopa. Madam Manipur Hariba, Karim the Kanja the Bakarim the train, the Bakarino Pilongarino, Karim the Kang the Pangzabakuna, Putokzaba Dugma, Aduba Taubudi, Kagi, director di Calcutta, Mamang led by the Kumar Bose Mazani links in Bidai, Nashi, Yamuizi Mabu Zabatassiam emotional oil. Aduna Asumba, Equigi, Manipuri Pilamado, Yana Naputopado. President Award Punky. Adun Ahamba Putopa Pilam the Award Punk by Sedum, Tang Manena Kobu, Yam the Miam the Tagat Piki. Aduna Matam do the President Award Hadami, Rastia, Chal Chitra Puraskara, and Adumba Award the Punky Kivani for the director say. Adava Matang the Namu, Quiquidana, 1981 is a mining temple of Padam. India given a Hana Grand Prix Award as a queen. Manipuri Pilamasna Punky. Aduna, I know putting the pausa vase. A quick thing Manipuri Pilam Putok Lagasu. A quick my partner or a hives a hygiene company. Nasi is a young case you cray. A quick Manipurgi artist sing the Pilamgi, the Kondariba Maruina, no sings yam talented boy, among the yam talented over the director, artist Miamam lay. Aduna sees a young case of was your powder, and a papana, internationally attacked, the nationally attacked, the state get hanged. Maya mamma, a hoyi Pasapazuba Pilam Putok, the night I work am pancre. Aduna yam noising, as you say, and Yang Pamtanga Cerebasini, I yam emotional, yam capning in Nungai, with it capning Beneheli, Adunaina, Tungi, Manipuri Pilamasi, Aramba as Hamagarina. I have now Nasikin with Asda, Haki, with the presenting as a golden jubilee, the enemy Asida, Missy Hazard, I have my own from the again.
Tagachari, Saknai Rabi actor, director, Yankom Roma Amadi, Manipurgi, Ahanba feature film, Matamgi Manipurgi, Matamdugi, superstar ni Amaromda, Aduga, Nasifobagi, Jenny Seda Thingnarakpa, Wafam Karasu Thambiramba, Haninga Litana Tagat Pofong Dokchari. And next, would like to request the respected guest of honor of today's function, Srimati Manju Bora, filmmaker, to say a few words regarding today's function.
Respected Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister of Manipur, Dev Kumar, Bose Dada, and actor, director Romaji. I'm so thrilled, even Mr. Shimendra Singh, yeah, he is here. So I'm so pleased. It is my great pleasure, in fact, and privilege to be present here in Imphal, celebrating the 50 years of Manipuri cinema. I congratulate the Manipur State Film Development Society, along with the film community, who are celebrating the Golden Jubilee year of Manipuri cinema, year through, and in the process paying tribute to the pioneers who initiated motion picture storytelling in this part of the country, in spite of having heavy challenges of resources, skill, and awareness, and mostly not having any infrastructure to make a film in the early 70s, which Bose Dada will definitely has expressed, and we know about that. Cinema being the most popular and powerful medium, reflecting the true color of a place and its people, not only provides temporary entertainment, but it can also influence to shape up a society politically or culturally. And I strongly believe that government authorities and private organizations should come up to take initiative to promote good cinema in this region. If I talk about my own film journey of almost 24 years, which is based in Guwahati, Assam, I always like to say that I make Northeastern films. Northeast region and its people are the strength of my filmmaking. Some may differ with my expression by telling that cinema has no geographical boundary, nor it has a particular language, since it is always universal in character, and it has only one language, the cinematic language. But still I feel that cinema has its own regional color, and with this color only we can attract the world audience. Once a well-crafted cinema attains its universal character, I think a regional film, small or big, can also connect with or communicate to world audience. When we talk about the Northeastern films, the first thing that comes to our mind is that the region does not have many theaters, and audience development has not been taken place, resulting in the lack of audience for quality cinema. The region, on the other hand, is a hotbed of ethnic, linguistic, and communal tensions. Even tenor of life is frequently disturbed due to these factors, and insurgency too is not uncommon. However, daring and passionate filmmakers are always emerging in the region, making quality films, even in such situations. This is proved by the spate of good films that have been made by many young and upcoming filmmakers from this region, which have been feted in many national and international film festivals and competitions, and have brought laurels. The love for their culture, anguish they feel for the deprivation that their people suffer in many areas, have made these filmmakers tell their stories to the world audience through the medium of cinema. I think that is the secret behind the success of cinemas from Northeast. Manipur is one of the richest states of the country, with its cultural heritage reflected in music, drama, literature, and handicrafts. Manipuri cinema has been occupying a very, very prestigious place in Indian cinema. Aribam Syam Sharma, the jewel of Manipuri cinema, is the most important and the finest filmmaker
from this region that Northeast is always proud of. We always admire the cinematic beauty and craft of filmmaking in all his creations. Even the documentary films made by him are much talked about and recognized all through the country. Manipur can also be proud of other filmmakers like M.A. Singh, Makhan Mani, Mingsuaba, Oinam Gautam Singh, H. Pawan Kumar, Meena, and a few others. I may not give the full list. Few others with their excellent work in each of their films. Recently, as a jury of the National Film Awards 2019, I'm very happy for the film Egi Kona, directed by Bobby Wahingbam, which received Rajat Kamal for Best Manipuri Film. The director is also recipient for the Best Book in Cinema in 2017 for his book Matangi Manipur, the first Manipuri feature film released in 1973, directed by our dear Kumar Bose, who is present here. We all are aware that the history of Manipur film is not always smooth. The film production in Manipur at one time was almost coming down to zero, and all the theaters closed down due to the local agitations like in Assam. But now I think as the digital films started, the Manipur films are getting expanded and a good numbers of films are being made, commercially released, and critically also getting attention as before. But at this juncture of the Manipuri films or any other regional films of this part of the country, we feel that the support of the government to promote the local films where a good members of cine artists and technicians are involved, their livelihood is cinema-centric. It is very important, and we look forward to Manipur film industry to be developed in its real sense in near future. Once again, I thank and congratulate the organizers of this beautiful and very significant event here, and giving me the opportunity to share the joy of Golden Jubilee of Manipur cinema with you all. My best wishes to Manipur cinema, which will always bring pride and glory to this region, I'm sure. And I thank you all, my dear audience, and all the dignitaries present here, all the members of the organizing committee. Thank you so much.
That was Srimati Manju Bora, renowned filmmaker of international repute. Thank you once again for a valuable speech, Srimati Manju Bora. May I take the privilege to call upon Sri Sivendra Singh Dungatpur, Founder Director of Film Heritage Foundation, would you please share some of your valuable words at the very outset of Golden Jubilee celebration of Manipuri cinema.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me thank our chief guest, Honorable Chief Minister Saab, Deputy Chief Minister Saab, and of course, the legends of Manipuri cinema. I have a special regard for Kumar Bose, but of course his father, who was really the one. I think we've all studied him, we've all learned from him. And nobody like Bose, one of the greatest directors India has produced, Bose. So, sir, salute to you, and Manju Bora ji. And of course, all the great filmmakers from Manipur, some of them are my friends, and I'm missing Sri Aribam Sham Sharma ji today. I had the opportunity to see him. And thank you, Secretary Saab. You're sitting hidden there, but all the hard work and all the efforts you've done to bring this 50 years of Golden Jubilee celebrations to this great place. Let me first, sir, we saw some wonderful clips, sir, and I would request the Chief Minister, we saw those wonderful clips, but what are we doing on preservation? How are we going to take these films across? You know, I learned seeing Kumar Bose's films. I don't know how many of you have seen it. If P.K. Nair had not preserved those films, and they were not at the National Film Archive at some point, I would have not learned cinema. How do I learn a shot taking? You only learn when you watch films from the great masters. Like if you're a painter, you see Van Gogh, you see the great artists around the world, and you learn. But where is the Van Gogh painting? It's in a museum. It's well looked after. It is preserved. There are conservators who are working on preserving that heritage. So, sir, I was invited by Secretary Saab, and we had Johnson Rajkumar, who was a student of one of our workshops. And I think it's a pledge for the Film Heritage Foundation that the Northeast should have an archive of its own. And this is the dream of P. Kanaya, that every state which is film producing should have their own archive. That means celluloid film should be preserved. And I want to tell, a lot of you are shooting on digital. And let me just tell you something very interesting. You know, about 2 years ago, Christopher Nolan, one of the greatest filmmakers in the world, came to support our foundation. And we tested the celluloid film. And we realized that the power of a celluloid film is 24K. That means when you go to a theater to watch a film today on digital medium, you're still watching a 4K. Only 4K. So unless you preserve celluloid, until 2014, we were only making celluloid films. Just remember that Lumiere brothers began making films in 1895. Raja Harishchandra was made in 1913. They're all surviving. And how easy was it for us to see it? You had a celluloid, you scanned it, and you see it. But look at the digital technology. They keep making you buy phones every 6 months. This is a marketing tool, my friend. There's nothing else. But digital technology means change. It means that the market is controlling you to change every day a new technology for you to buy. But what is sustainable, what is solid, what is gold, what is your mother? Celluloid. So please, I would urge all producers, and in fact, I got a call from Calcutta today, and they were telling me that there are so many negatives of the Manipuri cinema lying at the West Bengal Film Development Corporation, at the Rupayan studio at Salt Lake. And sir, we can urge the government of there to return those negatives to the secretary here, and it could lie in the archive, and we could preserve this heritage. When we talk about preserving just films, or are we talking about preserving the present digital age? I think we need to preserve everything, from posters, lobby cards, to photographs, to anything which goes about making films. And then we could have a museum here, where people could come, could see what Mr. Kumar Bose has done. Because it's not just about the visual medium of the film, but also about artifacts which he has. If there was a script, if there were photographs of the film, how was the film made? Please remember that what we create today is the future tomorrow. And that is how we need to preserve. So I would request the Honorable Chief Minister that to please initiate a heritage movement, a film heritage movement, where we need to preserve Manipuri cinema. But by preserving just Manipuri cinema, we should show the way to the entire Northeast. And Manju Boraji, I just spoke to, that Assam and Manipur are the two big states which make films. And there's nothing done there. I remember that how Mr. Janu Barua was trying with P.K. Nair. Again, another institution which could have really developed. And film development, please remember, any institute, whether it was FTII, it could only thrive because there was P.K. Nair there. We could only make films because we were shown great films. If there was no P.K. Nair, there would have been no FTII. And that is what I want Manipur to be. So thank you very much for inviting me. We want to hold a big workshop in November where we would invite international delegation to come and train, because to look after heritage, you need conservators. You need a proper infrastructure of people who can preserve these films. And it's very important that filmmakers across the world not only make films, but also think about preserving their films. So let's do a start and let it be the beginning of this Golden Jubilee. Let's sow the seeds, and Film Heritage Foundation is going to show the way. So thank you very much for all of you to be here, and I hope this is the beginning of a great heritage movement which we together can preserve the great cinema of India and Manipur and the Northeast. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sri Shivendra Singh Dungarpur, Founder Director, Film Heritage Foundation, for sharing your profound knowledge with us. Your speech was full of zeal and valuable information. Thank you once again.
Matanga Lapachari Batorum si felicitation to the pioneers of Manipuri cinema. Manipuri cinema gi Manglam Chapter Lamyanba Uibikibi Sing. Moigi Mapum Dani, Nasi Pantuk Sadi Batorum Sing Marilena, Ikai Kumna Jabotjaba. Hariba, Torum Sosi Lapachari. Lunena. Manipuri Film Development Society gi Maiki Degi, Ikai Kumna Jagatori Basida, Nasigi, Dice the Langston Beriba, Honorable Chief Minister, Chief Guest, Nasigi Torumgi, Chief Guest were Biribana. Ikai Kumna Jabotjabagi, Pizagatoriba, Ikai Kutol Pot Kudimuxi, Pipina with the Mahanbo in Dolujari.
And first would like to request Thongam Haridas, film exhibitor, producer, promoter. Would like to request respected Thongam Haridas, film exhibitor, producer, promoter. Thongam Haridas was one of the pioneer filmmakers who forayed into the new wave Indian cinema, where mythologies and other formula films began to give way to social and contemporary theme by filmmakers Shyam Benegal, M.S. Sathu, Basu Chatterjee, Kumar Sahani and others continued. Thongam Haridas was one such Manipuri who took forward this tradition of filmmaking to greater heights of amalgamating indigenous elements with modern values through his film Kuthang Lamjil 1979. He also continued to bolster the Manipuri film movement by promoting and holding exhibitions of Manipuri films elsewhere in India. Would like to request Thongam Haridas.
Thongam Haridas, Ikai Kumdazir Pabung Haridas, Nasiki Torum Sing Siling Directory and Takwirevzik, Secretary Mike Deginedon, Aquina, Langzariba, Kotol Port Kudimak, I go officially Yum the Salakatins and Britain that looks again, Matanda Rambam, Lokendro, screenwriter, filmmaker, film activist, and actor. Surya Rambam Lokendra is an ardent critic of performance art, along with the distinction of being one of the actors in Matamgi Manipur, the first Manipuri feature film. Besides his philosophy in ethno-indigenous choreography and intercultural dialogue on performance art has been a valuable contribution. He was awarded Sangeeta Academy Award, New Delhi, for theatre in 2004.
And to do the honor, would like to request the respected chief guest of today's function, Honorable Chief Minister Sri N. Biren Singh.
Oza Rambam Lokendra Hoji, stays there, Lansing Biroza, Bukai Kunazabuchari.
And next, would like to request Chongtham Kamala, playback singer. Known for her evergreen melodies like Lapna Lotna Layu, Tha Thabungton, Ita Manja Kada Chatlani, and many more songs which continue to capture listeners in Manipur, Srimati Chongtham Kamala Devi is one of the most accomplished and the first playback singer in Manipuri cinema. Having co-edited 2 anthologies of Binodini's work, Kamala's renditions of her songs have received widespread adulation and appreciation in the state to these days.
Chongtham Kamala Devi, Nasi Lengbe Kadabinadu, she's not keeping well today. Nasi Sangam Drain about the officially PBA, Amnunga Jade, Adana Jema Kamalagi from the Su, officially Nasigi, Kaikunazabi, Polum Kudimaxi, Yum the Tinzanabi to Gitanza Lobzage, Matanga KSS Rasi Devi actor. Srimati KSS Rasi Devi's journey to film stardom has been both inspirational for women of the state and motivational to aspiring actors. Her role of Ekashini in Imagining Them has won millions of hearts for her invaluable contribution in Manipuri cinema. Lifetime Achievement Award in the 13th Manipuri State Film Awards is being conferred to her. K.S. Rashi Devi, Shema Rashi Devi, Hozik, Mapam Sida, Lingbirakli Yamna Chinglimna, Nasiki Thorum Siobidi, Adumikai Kumnazibutseri.
And next would like to request respected Kangabam Tomba actor, popularly known as Lamja Tomba for his unforgettable role as the protagonist of one of the most popularly known film, Lamja Parshuram. Sri Kangabam Tomba is one of the first superstars of Manipuri cinema. His passion in acting transformed him from a school teacher to a popular actor in theatre and motion picture. Olang Thagi Wang Madasu, in which he took the protagonist role, outshined Bombay Heavyweight Sholay as the longest running film of its time.
Ikai Kumnazariba, Manipur gi Saknariba actor, Manipur film gi heart and the soul of Sri Kangabam Tomba. Hozik stage election Berkeley, Umbu, Ikai Kumnazbo, Sri Taramlok Sri. Next, we have Sri Ngangbam Swarnajit, art direction, costume, makeup artist. Beginning at a very early age of 12, as traditional costume and cultural outfit designer, Sri Ngangbam Swarnajit was conferred National Award for the Best Costume Designer of the film Safavi in 1984. From then on, there was no looking back for the first indigenous makeup artist and costume designer. Having worked in various films as makeup artist and art director, his contribution in Manipuri cinema will remain invaluable.
Ikai Kumnajariba Oja Ngangbam Swarnajit. Ngasiki Chinglim na Bathoram Masida, Lingbirakpa Haining Aligdana Tagat Pofong Jari. Next, would like to request Laimayum Banka Sharma, filmmaker, screenwriter, lyricist. Regarded as one of the pioneer filmmakers in the celluloid era, Sri L. Banka Sharma is not only a popular filmmaker, but he has also penned everlasting lyrics of films such as Maichak and Madhavi. His films have proved success in box office.
Ikai Kumnazariba, Sri Banka Sharma, Uzik, stage election Berkeley, Dombu, Ikai Kumnazbu, Sari, Taranok. Matanda Sri R.K. Bidur, film critic. Regarded as was one of the most prominent film critics in India and promoter of Northeast cinema, Sri R.K. Bidur Singh is the founder president of the Manipur Film Journalists and Critic Association. He has been active for several decades in the film society movements. For his work in the film movement in India, Sri R.K. Bidur Singh was awarded as Best Critic in the 56th National Film Awards for 2008. Hoji Aina Panjariba Yambung R.K. Bidur, Asigi Thorum Sida, Shagi Achunba, Lebibadagi, Yorupangamdre, and officially Tapidi, equipment missed opening whatever Pondopsari.
And next, would like to request Laimayum Surjakanta Sharma, film activist, producer, director, editor, cinematographer. Sri L. Surjakanta Sharma's name has become synonymous with the state feature film pattern shift, Beginning his film career as an editor, he ventured into cinematography with Ingele and Kontang. As a filmmaker, he has made a number of memorable hit films.
Matanda Sri L. Dhanachandra Sharma, screenwriter. Sri L. Dhanachandra Sharma is one of the popular writers of stories, script, screenplay, and dialogue, with more than a dozen of Manipuri feature films. Notable among his films are some of the biggest box offices like Madhavi, Kanaga Hinghauni, Ingele, and China Call. May I request Sri Laimayum Dhanachandra Sharma.
Next, would like to request Laishram Sanatomba, film exhibitor, promoter. In the preservation, promotion, and growth of Manipuri motion pictures, Sri L. Sanatomba has a role. His friend's talkies has been a prominent hub for exhibition and promotion of Manipuri cinema despite facing immense hurdles.
Ikai Kumuzariba was a Laishram Sanatomba, Zik Stesda. Next directly, Adombu, Sinjari Pigi Maike Degi, Ikai Kunuza Busabuludena, Takas of Pontuxeri. Matunda R.K. Kripa, director, actor. Sri R.K. Kripa debuted with celluloid film Ingale, which became an instant hit in the box office. After the celluloid era, he also continued his contribution towards the digital film movement with like-minded and devoted film personalities in this that marking the evolution of Manipuri cinema into a self-reliant industry. Yamung R.K. Kripa, Zik Stezelenka Pregle.
Next, would like to request Chan Haisnam, producer, director, actor. Shri Chan Haisnam, the chubby comic actor in the popular television production Mau Interview and Mayo Figi Macha, debuted as a director with Kanaga Hinghauni along with Shri K. Vishwamitra as the co-director. An experienced filmmaker who has worked on different mediums such as celluloid, video, and digital, he has played pivotal role in creating a robust film industry in the state. Would like to request Chan Haisnam to be on the stage.
Sri Chan Haisnam, Sisu Secretary na tapiraping matungin officially lagpang amroy habire hagnat habi nungajadi nga sigi thorom siam ya honjaning badu mistawi nungajar pon matangda last but not least Sri Moiranthem Nilamani Singh Manipur gi film putupasingi marakta ahanba producer bi film gi maram da suiba masamak advocate ni putoki film pap khonje sinasingba celluloid film ma silver screen da koi miam gi damak khotol tambiramba yamne kai khum nazariba Sri Moiranthem Nilamani Singh Housing Station Link directly Luinana Nasiki Thorum Selling Birpa Asuki Matek Quina Harau Zebanunga Pontok Sabagal Luinana Adum Butaran Osari Luinana Manipur Film Development Society Maike Degi Honorable Minister Namotsin Biraga Lantuk Sariba Kapchariba Kotor Pulsing Simatamotang Lowin the Bagid Maknul Nangachari. Ngasigi election bedi bakwai punam ki mangda ai koina Minghar Panjariba Kokachariba, Mukarsin Manipur Pilamgi, Pungsup Supa, Pungsu Badnasa de Manipur State Film Development Society, Maikidagi, Golden Jubilee celebration, see how Dr. Pumatamda, Kai Kunazebo, Chabayarba, Mukar, the Mahana Kangatsaragamadu, Kudol Tamjavi, Toromni, Torom Simapun Pan, Bepono Putansari. Sumana na Pantor Pomatamda, I couldn't select a Dorbaton but Torum Sing. Matamatan Pakatara Kaduriba, Sigi Kutanda, Sigi Tanja Lauraga face by face, Manipur Filmgi, that's saying na Sakna the Benin personality sing, contributors sing, Punamuxi, Equina, Kunazo, Sebigi Torum, Madumakata, and Equi Pakatarkani, and the Mayam Punamansu Film Nungsi, Punamansumosi, support of you, outlook review, Babung Pava, Golden Jubilee celebration of Mohenbio and Luxury.
Now I would like to request the respected chief guest of today's function, Honorable Chief Minister Shri N. Biren Singh, to address the gathering.
Yamna Punin Nungsiba, Habatara Mayamgi Lai Weraba Mayamgi Wari at the Gozik Lady Ba Alaman Mayam artists Manipuri cinema Pitribi Takta, Barat Kitakta, Soba, stage some of the Pocket Pirambi Mayam. Ningsing Boina Sahi Yankee Shurpagi Ningsing Vista Ariariba Equina Amto Unazagain of Hangdaba Marueba Alamansing Unazaba Pangwada on the Suyam emotional about Paui at those Masiki Sinbiriba Manipur Film Development Society Mayam Punamak a Tagachari the Sugumba Manipuri cinema Say Yankee Surpagi Sugumba Golden Jubilee celebration Sida Dies the Langsing Biriba, Sri Wajwe Kumar Singh, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Manipur, Aduga Sirimati Manju Bora, Assam Dagi, filmmakers, Aduga Sri Sevendra Singh Dungapur, Founder Director Film Heritage Foundation. Yamaruina, Shri Dev Kumar Bose, filmmaker, Aduga Isema Rama Devi, Aduga Atai, Mang the Langshin Biriba, Award Pungbikiba, Yamnamaru, by Queen Sangai about Kaikunanga, about filmmakers sing, Aduga artists sing. We will listen to artists, some of the filmmakers, my among media friends, invitees, media friends, they come to City. As I know the Quiggy Dev Kumar Bose, say he Mariputare Chure, 87 years. Mana Manipur, Calcutta, the Gish, the Sigi film. 50 years ki celebration sigi the muktak mana lak pi budo mana laka na sidida masan paga purga masazo azmana riba do sigi marak sidaka mana Manipuri film gi adu Manipuri care talk da adu bidam kine ni ngasai hogal laga ma boy ne clap to do e boy magi adu gumba Manipuri ai khoi gi da makta mana wa khiba hona khiba ise maro mana ji haikre Matamgi Manipur, Karmaina Matamdu 1971, the Namge Bangladeshi war Akanba Maraktuda. Sukuma Mayamsi Ni Equi Manipura, am Soktona Equina, sometimes Equi talent, Equi Manipuri sing the ladybug. Any field artist the Wigera, sports Kida Wigera. Art and culture gida वगैरह human resource the वगैरह education की लम्ब वगैरह what are कुछ बात तब but only the things ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯀꯣꯂꯦꯛꯇꯤꯚ ꯑꯣꯏꯕ ꯌꯨꯅꯥꯏꯠꯂꯤ ꯄꯣꯠ ꯑꯃ ꯇꯧꯕ ꯃꯇꯝꯗ ꯂꯤꯡꯖꯦꯜ ꯃꯥꯟꯅꯅ ꯄꯨꯟꯅ ꯆꯪꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯠꯇꯨ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯍꯧꯔꯛꯑꯦ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯑꯃꯒ ꯀooperation ꯄꯤꯅꯕ ꯑꯃꯅ ꯑꯃꯕꯨ ꯏꯟꯈꯠꯅꯕ ꯆꯤꯡꯊꯅꯕ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯏꯟꯈꯠꯅꯕꯁꯦ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯃꯊꯧ ꯇꯥꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯅꯥꯎ ꯁꯟꯖꯨꯅ ꯁꯦꯀ꯭ꯔꯦꯇꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯏꯔꯕ ꯃꯇꯨꯡꯗ ꯆꯦꯟꯖ ꯈꯔ ꯄꯨꯔꯛꯅꯕꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯀꯟꯅ ꯍꯣꯠꯅꯩ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯋꯥꯠꯂꯤ ꯐꯤल्म मेकरꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯋꯥꯠꯂꯤ ꯐꯤल्म ꯀꯥꯞꯀꯦꯅ ꯈꯟꯕꯁꯤꯡ ꯇꯧꯒꯗꯕꯁꯤꯡꯗ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯌꯥꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯠ ꯑꯣꯐꯇ ꯏꯚꯟ ꯀꯅꯥꯒꯨꯝꯕꯤ ꯐꯤल्म ꯀꯥꯞꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯐꯤल्म ꯁꯦꯝꯅꯤꯡꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯗ ꯐꯟꯗꯤꯡ ꯄꯤꯕ ꯐꯥꯎꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔꯠꯀꯤ ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯈꯣই ꯍꯥꯞꯈꯤꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯒꯤ ꯑꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯑꯩꯒꯤ ꯏꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯐꯤल्म ꯁ꯭ꯇꯥꯔ ꯂꯦꯖꯦꯟꯗꯔꯤ ꯑꯣꯖꯥ ꯇꯣꯝꯕꯅ ꯏꯌꯥꯝꯕ ꯇꯣꯝꯕꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯖꯗ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯝꯃꯤ ꯑꯁ ꯏꯉꯣ ꯁꯨꯃꯥꯏꯅ ꯇꯧꯗꯅ ꯑꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡꯒꯤ ꯄꯦꯟꯁꯤꯜ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝ ꯍꯧꯗꯣꯛꯄꯤꯗꯅ ꯇꯧꯕꯗꯣ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯔꯦ ꯃꯁꯤꯗ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯃꯁꯤ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕꯁꯤ ꯂꯧꯔꯒ ꯑꯃꯁꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯅꯤꯡꯉꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯃꯤ ꯄꯨꯡ ꯈꯨꯗꯤꯡꯃꯛ ꯃꯥꯏ ꯄꯥꯛꯇꯦ ꯂꯝꯖꯦꯟ ꯃꯤ 100 ꯆꯦꯟꯃꯤꯟꯅꯕꯗ ꯐꯥꯔꯁ ꯁꯦꯀꯦꯟ ꯊꯥꯔ ꯑꯍꯨꯝ ꯈꯛꯇꯅꯤ ꯄꯣꯖꯤꯁꯟ ꯂꯧꯒꯗꯣꯏꯗ 90ꯒ 7 ꯑꯃꯗꯤ ꯂꯩꯍꯧꯒꯗꯣꯏꯅꯤ ꯃꯣꯏꯗꯨ ꯀꯔꯤ ꯇꯧꯅꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯄꯣꯂꯤꯁꯤ ꯃꯗꯨꯒꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯀꯤꯝꯁꯅꯤ ꯑꯩꯈꯣꯏꯅ ꯁꯦꯝꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯒꯤ ꯑꯋꯥ ꯑꯅꯥ ꯃꯇꯦꯡ ꯄꯥꯡꯅꯅꯕ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯍꯧꯖꯤꯛꯁꯨ ꯂꯥꯛ 2-3 ꯏꯟꯀꯝ ꯇꯥꯅ ꯂꯥꯛꯄ ꯁꯤꯡꯗꯤ ꯂꯣꯏꯅ ꯏꯂꯤꯖꯤꯕꯜ ꯑꯣꯏꯕꯅꯤ ꯊꯥꯕꯗ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯅꯦꯁꯅꯦꯜ ꯑꯦꯋꯥꯔꯗꯤ ꯁ꯭ꯇꯦꯠ ꯑꯦꯋꯥꯔꯗꯤꯒꯨꯝꯕꯁꯤꯅ ꯊꯥꯗ 4,000 ꯐꯪꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯒ ꯑꯦꯋꯥꯔꯗꯤ ꯅꯠꯇꯕ ꯅꯣꯔꯃꯦꯜꯒꯤꯅ 2,500 ꯐꯪꯒꯗꯕꯅꯤ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯑꯥꯔꯇꯤꯁꯁꯤꯡ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯋꯥꯅ ꯂꯩꯕ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯌꯥꯝ ꯋꯥꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯅꯨꯡꯉꯥꯏꯅ ꯂꯩꯕꯁꯨ ꯌꯥꯎꯏ ꯑꯗꯨꯅ ꯃꯗꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯔꯤꯕ ꯒꯣꯔꯃꯦꯟꯠꯅ ꯁꯤꯟꯖꯔꯤꯕ ꯈꯨꯗꯣꯡꯆꯥꯕꯁꯤ ꯂꯧꯕꯤꯌꯨ ꯍꯥꯏꯗꯅ ꯑꯩ ꯑꯍꯥꯟꯕꯗ ꯃꯌꯥꯝꯅ ꯊꯝꯖꯕꯅꯤ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯁꯤꯅꯦꯃꯥꯒꯤ ꯍꯤꯁꯇ꯭ꯔꯤ 1936 ꯑꯗꯨꯒꯨꯝꯕ ꯃꯅꯤꯄꯨꯔꯒꯤ ꯂꯩꯈꯤꯗ꯭ꯔꯕ ꯁꯪꯅꯥꯏꯔꯕ ꯃꯍꯥꯔꯥꯖ ꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯄꯤꯔꯣꯕꯔꯇ 18mm ꯒꯤ ꯃꯇꯝꯗꯨꯗ ꯃꯨꯚꯤ ꯀꯦꯃꯦꯔꯥ ꯁꯤꯖꯤꯟꯅꯩ ꯉꯁꯥꯏꯒꯤ ꯑꯩꯅ ꯗꯦꯕꯀꯨꯃꯥꯔ ꯕꯣꯁ ꯐꯤल्म मेकर्स मागीदा फिल्म गीदा अमुक हायरंबदो मैन्युफैक्चर तौगनु क्रिएटिव क्रिएशन तौगदबने मरमदि सिदी सेम सारगा सुमायना यो तौना सेमग याबा पोट नते यामना इमोशनल तोयबा वखलदगी थोलपा क्रिएटिव आइडियाज सिंगुना ने मसी फिल्म फावरिबा अदा बाबुंसाम यावरुमदबसी होय मंगा साइला अमगा लेतबगी केन तौए बाबुंसाम यामना इखोगी पृथ्वीदा मणिपुरगी फिल्म तसेंगना सक्ताकपा अदुगा भारतदा याम कन्ना पुथोक मसक खंगलिबसी बाबुंसामगी अचौबा मागी कंट्रीब्यूशन लई अखोइना अखोइबो इसोरदोंना अखोइ निंजबा खंजबनी अखोइना अदुना मतमगी मणिपुरनगा मतमदुदा तौक्रिबा इसेमा लेरे मसाइदसु अखोइगी था थाबुंटोनगी हेक इसेइदो ताबदा नत्रगा मागी कनोगी अखोइगी एक्टिंग एक्शन दो उबा कांदा दम असेंग मानबा हाइदा असेंग मानबा अदुगुमगी टैलेंट ने अखोइ यामना अतांगबनी अना साइ इसेनाजो हाइगिबा अहानबा पुथोकपा फिल्मना भारत की अदुगुम्बा प्रेसिडेंट अवार्ड फंगबा ngamagadi why not हाइबदो द फंगसु फंगी हुजिक मणिपुर की फिल्म गी तो होनरिबा मयामसी होनबा लेपति याम कन्ना तौई अदु बखोइ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर वाटपा मॉनिटरी सपोर्ट वाटपा अदुगुम्बदुना याम का हेना चावना इंटरनेशनल लेवल दा और नेशनल लेवल दा कम्पीट तौबदा खुदोंग सादब खरदि मायोंग ने हेबसे कोइ गवर्नमेंट सु फील तौई अदुबु एखोइ government is well prepared maramdi cinema na ekhoi da piriba kanaba ekhoi bu sakta ko da piriba ekhoi gi society sibu sum thongna ba hona ba piriba ekhoi gi tungi miro da tamhoga da thamami masak sing achouba hiram mane hebtai ko education ki achoba part amane ne khoi lobani aduna Manipuri cinema khoi yokhana bai khoi sarkar sina thabak kya muk lokhole khoi ge ngasai hai ki Manipur Film Development Council khoi linkale adagi Manipur Film Development Corporation haina thawang kana ngor matung da hujikti Manipur State Film Development Society haina restructure tawre adagi Manipur State sign policy approve tawkhre the sign policy mapung khana sanabu yangsina bhandak ta Manipuri sign commission linkat khre maramdi systematically sataba yadaba amali akhoi gi se follow up laitaba akhoi Manipur gi akhoi gi oiba generally soiba si kaino akanda thaba am tawre society am seme committee am seme natraga kaino me establish tawre du madugi follow up si laitaba adu dani akhoi ne hek maram makta fail oirise adu madugi follow up procedure sama phajana thamnane be koi hariba pot mayam se koi tawre ngasai signed kaino go policy semba the commission linkat pa haibna singa mayam se ana Manipur se ina khulaba cultural heritage amadi art form singa damukta sakthuk sei aduga sahi sa kaya asida artist singa ko heritage singa sem bagi laru bi bathoga si thak natna malem da sumasi gi fajaba si uthok le bani ngasi mak aina akhoi hujik sangaraga mathakta kar bukana yamna ningba kai ningai oi ba haibata akhoi gi ariba film kapki bagi roles in film sing si fajana preserve torom da bagi mafam leiram da bagi mangdana adi kokwai ka dana leiba singdo adu nungaite aduna hujik ai yamna encourage tawi akhoi gi anu wala iba office bearers sing sina madugi museum sema kanda inaw ama kanogi ne museum gi expert ni hai archaeologist ali basing sigi thamnana bagi mai chemical ga hapaga film singdo amuk reprint over yana na bagi do gi process ka tawni khone na ngonda hai do yam nai madu yam tangai fade maram di ali basing sai si romana hai ki ba 71 da matam gi Manipur si ai sum Punjab ani namna hona da wa gi ba kari to gi ga madu da leiri ba posting to heng tungi mirona madu tamjini ngai wai gani aduna museum leiri ba dagi koi gi nasai sanjuna hai ba da leiri ba koi gi camera roll thambam du kaino gi koi gi AC drakar nei hai ba adu masing tangai phada basing do government is always ready to help adu ki mating pangana ba ko soi tok jege laibak thibadi khoi gi art form sing ase ngak sian ba mani sakhot na bi maru eba thodang lori ba art practitioners sing ase lisang sina sel thumgi khudong sa ma tu fang na hinglak ko se support le ta ba haibata talent yam leiba yam li tawning ba yam su tawba aduga asagi financial background du leitabni na aduna makhoi gi wakhal lok sing hai sing ba madi makhoi na katholi bu sing adu sakhang ba du ulagasu makhoi na performance piba toklaba matung da di asagi aina haijabadu sel thungya ya ba yam mayok na kanda hingba life ama oiba aduna a film yawra me film gumma me film nama me tawrisi yango yam wana leina ba nungai taba du gumbagi lei taba nate aduna ne khoina kaino do yamna khallaba matung da say not only in the films lila ge hairo lila drama torum ba hairo amma tawra yawri ngai matam stage tawri ngai matam na mayam khoba khoba what is this du lip to khana magi masana na ra kana film to kana hanne ge ni na bale taba han resource thamok da ba adung ma mayam du de ne khoina komena khoi artist in this scheme sune khoina tawjeraga angam bakhar da shu mateng pang ba humanity support ne khoina hona jari ba aduna khoi gi ina khullaba khoi gi kari haitare traditions masi khoi sakhangal liba posidi yamna artist singi art and culture Manipur policy tasina harga art and culture sports but now hujikti masak khangba hore aina nahan jo haijabdo ko human resources to gi mati wange ko handak the SSB gi NDA gi exam competitive exam the UPS meet tarada ni thoi IS exam da mi mapan prelim pass or ise final sang dorabani aduna ai nahan ngarang mathang nahan do ai mayam na suena khamgirabni ko adagi methiu haidina IS ki direct coaching India ki oina coaching pi riba institution linkali ba kang bo sei direct kauraga hana visually akoina lupa crore amaga makhai mo puthoga tawbani UPSC ki coaching se adu handaki laiba jundagi di noi ada IS ki coaching pi ri waja sing do sidai da Manipur da la halo ikoms komi Delhi dagi Imphal la pai se only 2.5 hours then inak nang na lere city hotel lere dagi madugi moigi coaching class ta unana ba madugi room moigi waja singi leibam khopa ma koi loi pi ni konen ta una haine dana sina sina koi jun tha dagi direct UPSC ki coaching IS ke tawna bi coaching se Manipur da thamna ba ina da mai da na dum so koi ngara almost yana re haidana mai nai mayam tam jage aduna koi yam sangna ai matam logje rorgi apai Manipur si ngasaina haje ngarang so aina apil lama tokjebani corona gi hujik laiba masigi si koi taraina lobo yaroi honorable prime minister ngarang Manipur Bharat ki laiba chief minister mayam koi virtual conference tawi madudai da yamna state yamna concern loiba states si Maharashtra gumba Karnataka Chhattisgarh adagi even Gujarat adagi UP yamna alarming oiba situation lakpa Delhi su ri hankalai and Manipur da ngarang ai khoi su pharma bane kunthan infu odai dagi da lairama bane do ngarang si mi mapan mitra trukum ngarang hengkat pa adui manung da travel kaino dagi mapan dagi lakpa da airport ta mari ma positive oiba adagi kaino da khoi gi jiri lom dagi lakpa da jiri ga kaino ga hawalle khoi gi mau ga su jiri lom dagi lakpa da bus da mari ma thengna ba adna sumai tor kan dai khoi se kitang section da ba ya da ba situation lai aduna ne ina ngarang so ina appeal tok jeb du yaring ge koi se ngasi mak taw risi adum social distancing adum phajana maintain tok biraga tawbu taraga su marks phajana upiraga phaminaraga thabak tok ya da basing adai school su ai class 6 tagina 9 phawba amuk hangbadu 8 phawba hangbadu ai review to wala ngasi haigi bani maram di angang sing si bhap ta de ba angang ngata ni na class 6 tagina 8 phawbu hang angtang review to bisi aduga 9 dagina 9 ena ba phawdu di hangbada bhap ta na bina social distancing kari kari fajana tawraga yarani na haiji gi bani aduna mayam gi cooperation support na traga di hariba ekhoi gi sigilaina sidagi jo khoi thengna bunga moi ekhoi khatana isana cheksalaga thengna gada bani haidana hi mayam na maina thamjaninge aduna wafam khreje haijaraga Manipur gi cinema na khoi gi sahi angkai mapung pharakpa Manipur gumba pikhraba singlaiba yamna shortana troubled state ena mayamna longna masdai da cinema gi sahi angkai gi celebration tawbungam baga isam historic ni yamna masi yamna southok chaningai ni aduna ai artists singa madi filmmakers and Manipur da leiba mayam gi damakta ai isana ai mayam khurum jari ai southok jo pokjai mayam gi damta appreciate tok jari congratulate tok jari aduga या मरोइना देव कुमार बोसे आपको हम प्रणाम करता हूँ आपकी वजह से मणिपुर का फिल्म हिस्ट्री में कुछ आया है सच यू हैव स्टार्टेड इन द 70s and I really congratulate for visiting here taking all the troubles from Calcutta to Imphal thank you very much अदुगा वाफम खरसे थमजबग लोइना आई करिगमदा डिक्लेयर तौजगे that I declare Golden Jubilee of Manipuri cinema open. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Ngasigi thorumgi chief guest winner lesson delivery kai kumjariba Honorable Chief Minister Shri N Biren Singh chief guest ki warul thambiramangang kuleitan thagsa phondokjari loinena hojik makha chatharak thoromda thamjariba maruoiba thoromsi chief minister gi artist singi tengbang Hairiba scheme si haukiba sei ing lising ani supna kungi Mars ki tang taramangada Honorable Chief Minister masamakna lautok pikhiba scheme ni scheme sina hojik Chief Guest ki space marakta su yaubiramba Manipur ki artist singi tungan tungan ba hiram kaya da koi sothariba maruoina financially aikoi da wajariba punamaksida kariguma kharadang wariba su mateng pang bangamgadra karamhaina madugi ngaklok si pigani adu karamhaina puning thogut kani habisigi pandamda sembi khiba scheme si hek lautho matung hojik sahi olak pasida maruoina scheme si sanaba hore habidugi ahan ba phongtok chebanu mitni sida area khara da aikoina Manipur gi artist khara aikoina khagachare ba artist singi mapamda ngasi Honorable Chief Minister sulengsin mena leviri scheme sigi kuthang da pibe yaba mating singdu piba hauragani habidugi madugi chapchaba sing is believing madugi pandam du aikoi phongtok chebani ngasi award piba hauragani tengbang si piba hauragani habidugi tanjaduni hoji loku serip se aduni area singdu kari da pigadogno habidu bidal prelasmem te patoke
Chief Minister Gyati Singhi Tingbang. In short, the scheme CM80 was announced by Shri Nongthombam Biren Singh, Honorable Chief Minister Manipur on 15th March 2020, with an aim to provide financial assistance to the artist community as a part and as a support and encouragement. The scheme comprises the following components: Scheme for Artist Pension, Assistance for International and National Festivals, Scheme of Financial Assistance to the Cultural Group for Training and New Production, Support for Purchase of Instruments and Equipment, Scheme for Award to Distinguished Artists, linking with Start of Manipur Scheme for Artists, and lastly, linking with Chief Minister Gi Hakshil Gi Tengbang for Artists.
Andaki chahi we na hanba scheme si hokduk charapada pension scheme gi wena punna artist Samriga Kuntranite 432 artists hauzik pi ne naba khanjaraba duga cultural group ki wena punna group yang mari masi available training and new production assistance high areas the mating bijagadabani loinana satra satri singi altogether trained 14 students will be supported for purchase of equipment and instruments aduga 3 national awardee will be honored anu hairibasi hojik ngasigi thorom sidani sigi tanjasi logjaraga ekoi kai kumjana chabasida maruina ahan batang kakki wenani mioi khara ekoi khangaji miosingdomta han haibiu package wena
Ahan Bada, pensioner to be honored, Srimati Oinam Dhoni, folk dance, Sanginatak Academy awardee, Mathangda Sri Laisham Madhuchandra Singh, visual art, Manipur State Kala Academy awardee, Masung Srimati Yangnu Golmai, music, Manipur State Kala Academy awardee, training and new production, the Rhythms of Manipur for music, Performing Artist Center for dance, Manipur Dramatic Union for theatre, Art Society Manipur for visual art. Purchase of equipment and instrument, Miss Sonia Angom for dance, Sri Fizam Mahendra Singh for music, Miss Thangjam Yaisna Devi for Thangta. An award to distinguished artists, Sri Riwen Masangwa, Padma Shri 2021, Srimati Hanjabam Ongbi Radhe Sharmi, Padma Shri 2021, Miss Vanish Kaisam, Pradhan Mantri, Rashtriya Bal Sakti Puruskar 2021 in visual art.
Hairiba ngasigi ming panjariba tongan ba koina package altogether package mari ni sigi manungda yauriba sakna deba kai kumnajariba artist sing matung matang koi package wise kopsage kharthuna stage da election berna nixing jari lonena ngasigi chief guest wena election ber honorable chief minister na koi ngasigi lanthok chadri scheme sigi beneficiary sing the pdiba koi mating sing si lanthok pin double doluk sari han bada Srimati Onam Dhoni folk dance Sanginatak Academy awardee Anishubha Sri Laishram Madhuchandra Singh, visual art ni, Manipur State Kala Academy awardee, Luenana Srimati Yangnu Golmei, music ta, Manipur State Kala Academy awardee. Lantok Secretary Basil Gimating, Maruena si checkboard wena hozik. Langzeri Bashir, Honorable Chief Minister na sigi Srimati Oinam Ongbidoni, folk dance, Sanginatak Academy awardee, Sri Laisa Madhuchandra Singh, visual art, Luenana Srimati Yangnu Golmei. Hozik Ngakta Kwena Yanzari Simarwena pensioner sing the pensioner card to ni Sigi Carson and Haying Matunda Matanga Kogi beneficiary sing na Kogi pension sing lobby bottom the car system in the regular lobby Bayara, the checkboard Hozik Honorable Minister na Lantupiri.
Matang asida thamjaning ba wafum amana handak khanjariba pension scheme gida 432 artists jamriga kontrani toy aikoina khara khanga charaga assembly koina ngasi gi thoram asigi kudong chaba si lauzaraga aikoina paisa si haizaba tari sel gi mateng asi pijabani duga lemhoriba artist singi bank account na chingba singda aikoina masigi sel gi tingbang asi adumak matam chana yahonjagani haibasi masu thamjari.
Srimati Yang Nukolme Music Tani Yang Nukolme Manipuri Matamisei All India Radio Imphal DTK Imphal Gap of Artists when he says Sapi and the Miam Totona Sakanaribi artist Srimati Yang Nukolme Chimu.
And next for training and new production, Sri R.K. Sanatomba for Rhythms of Manipur, Sri T.A.'s Mani Singh for Performing Artists Center, Sri S. Kesorang for Manipur Dramatic Union, and Sri Y. Nabachandra Singh for Arts Society Manipur.
Ming Panjariba training and a new production gi Rhythms of Manipur Performing Artists Center, Manipur Dramatic Union, Luenana Arts Society Manipur, Ming Panjariba representative Singh stays the lesson building rosary.
Sri R.K. Sanatomba for Rhythms of Manipur, and the Tingbang, Selgi Tingbang is comprised of rupees 80,000. Ikai Kumnajariba Oja is Kishoram for Manipur Dramatic Union. Amasung masigi Selgi Tingbang asida Lishing Marifugi. La kamagi oy basel gi tingbangi checkboard ninga si pizariba.
Performing Artist Center gi hozik lengsa City TS Mani Singh Performing Artist Center gi Matanda Art Society Manipur. Sri Y. Nabachandra Singh, Art Society Manipur. Performing artist, yes. Performing Artist Center, Sri T.S. Mani Singh, Election Med Labor Honorable Minister na checkboard si uji kutol tambiri. Uza T.S. Mani Singh thak sa puntuk sari. Sige matanda Art Society Manipur gi Sri Y. Nabachandra Singh, Election Birkani, Lona na ngasigi Chief Guest Labor Honorable Chief Minister gi mai kedegi checkboard lagwin na bandol sari.
And next would like to request Miss Sonia Angom, Government Dance College for dance, Shri Fizam Mahendra Singh for music, Shri Sri Balmukunda Dev Music College, and Miss Thangjam Yaisna Devi, Thangta, Manipur University of Culture, for purchase of equipment and instrument.
Kausar Miss Sonia Angom, Shri Fizam Mahendra Singh, Loinana, Miss Thangjam Yaisna Devi. Miss Sonia Angom, Government Dance College. Sigi matangda Fizam Mahendra, Sri Sri Bal Mukundev Government Music College, matangda Miss Thangjam Yasna Devi, Manipur University of Culture.
Thank you so much. Next award to distinguished artist Shri Riwen Masangwa, Padma Shri 2021, Srimati Hanjabam Ongbi Radhe Sharmi, Padma Shri 2021, and Ms. Venice Kaisam, Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Sakti Puruskar 2021 in Visual Art.
Distinguished artist Singi Mapamda Lantok Sariba Selgi Tembangani Chief Minister Ge Artist Singi Tengbang Sigi Skin Sigi Makata Pizaba Selgi Tengbang ni Ahan Bada City Ruben Masangwa Zilian Sibirle Honorable Chief Minister Ge Mike Keding Check Board Ozilobi Matung Matanga Srimati Hanjabam Mongbi Radhe Sharmi Padma Shri 2021. Srimati Hanjabam Mongbi Radhe Sharmi Wangjing Sorok Haibam Laikai Delebini Adu Yam Nungai Zabadi Polo making and the polo Shetpasigi Lamdani Yamna Tajadana Koigi traditional art form Sigi Matanga Padma Shri Awarsi Bharat Sarkana Sakhangvidana Bibirakpa Jahi Suisagi 87 say Mulputarin Musurabe my bibni Matorni Asilangirapa Naji Tax of Pondusari Matanga Miss Venice Kaisam Pradhan Mantri Rashtriya Bal Sakti Puruskar 2021 in visual art.
And an announcement, pensioner card may be collected by the concerned from the Directorate of Art and Culture Office at Palace Compound, Imphal from 16th April 2021 onwards during office hour.
Nasigi Lapi Kibat is Punam Tagas of Pundusari, Honorable Chief Minister Sunga Kilitan Tagas of Pundusari.
Matangasina Thoramasi Makacha Tazarapoina, Nasigi Thoramasigi, President Gifam Langda, Lingshin Biriba, Ikaikum Jariba, Honorable Deputy Minister Shri Y. Joy Kumar Singh. Nasigi Thoramasigi presidential speech Thambina Bagidamakta Noluk Nahangachari.
Celebrating the Golden Jubilee of Manipur cinema on the occasion of the completion of 50 years of its journey. Function asigi Chief Guest when election Biriba Sri N. Biren Singh, Honorable Chief Minister of Manipur. Aduga loina na Guest of Honor ki Phamam Langda election Biriba Srimati Manju Bora, renowned filmmaker of Assam, Sri Sibendra Singh Dungarpur, founder director Film Heritage Foundation, and along with Sri Dev Kumar Bose, director of the first Manipuri feature film Matamgi Manipur, Loinana Hariba Matamgi Manipuri film Sida actress Wina Kumbi Kiba Madam Roma Devi, Aduga Loinana Film Society ki Manipur State Film Development Society ki members sing Aduga Lingbirectiva artist mayam director producer amamam to aina maming khangjabenati loinamak aina panjarga loinana koigi press ki no khwai punamakpu yan hambada aina igi maikidigi ikai pumawa uchari siengna harbada haiba ngasigi numirasi it's a very proud day today. Small state like Manipur, though of course Manipur had been known for its culture, for its arts. Among the classical dance, Manipuri dance from the northeast is the only dance which is considered to be, which is included in the classical dance. And basically what we have seen is boys and girls, so they are all imbibe all kinds of different kinds of art forms, etc. So there are with such background, it's no wonder that we have come to this day. Looking back, I think we had a view of the glimpses of Manipuri film through this 50 years, and it was quite revealing, and it was quite, what one would say, refreshing to see how the development has taken place. In one way, I'm also somewhat associated because Dev Kumar Bose will probably, I think, on the occasion of this Manmohan Singh lifetime achievement, I was there, I'm the distance, and his Manmohan Singh is my father-in-law. I'm married to his daughter. That's how I associated with the Manipuri film. What I see, I think natural question that arises is, we have reached so far. From where to, how to? I think these are the questions which needs to be thought about or to be introspected. Hanagi, the pioneers of films, Manipuri film, feature films, if you take each of the name, they were people from well-to-do family who could afford the kind of financial requirement the filmmaking needed. Take any of the name, even in my father-in-law, then others, Thongam Haridas, and so many others and all these things. Now, and these people, they made these films not to make money, but to promote the arts and culture of Manipur through the medium of cinema. Aduna, to begin with, when it started, unlike other film industry, in Manipur, it was purely with the motive of preserving, nurturing culture and arts forms of Manipur. That's what I believe. And that I think anyone going through these things would understand that. So the motive was not making money. It was basically, it was not a commercial, the motive or the target was not commercial production of films. It was for the sake of personal satisfaction, for the sake of preserving the culture and the art form of Manipur. Today, those pioneers are gone. When I look, what I find is that today, the filmmakers, producers today are not as well off as those people. This is the scenario one sees. And another thing that what I've seen is that in the beginning, lots of audience, lots of people watch the movies there were theatres. So basically, earnings was also quite substantial. Today, things have changed. Now see, the theatre later, audience also is not to that large extent as it used to be. So what we have to think of from now onward is, basically it has to be, of course, the government is right behind the film industry of Manipur. Honorable Chief Minister has made so much useful policy to see that the artists are provided for. But then that itself will not be enough. What we have to see is, if the Manipuri film industry has to really flourish, then we have to see that the audience are brought back, interests are more generated. So what I think is, today, this new generation of filmmakers, producers will have to think about how to attract, how to bring the audience back. Without the audience, cinema will die a natural death. That is my belief, and that I think you will agree. Why theatres? Why these things, dramatic? We used to have so many theatres, all these things. These are dying even because we are not able to attract the audience. Why? Introspection has to be done. I think things have changed. I think if you really look at this film, Matamgi Manipur, the glimpse we saw of Thabungdon. See, what is the difference of that film and the others that we see? In that film, it reflects Thabungdon. Everyone here, I think many of my age will still remember this lullaby, or what you may call it, the mother sings to her child. And this was part of Manipuri culture. It is very much part of Manipuri culture. This reflects, that sort of thing, reflection should be there. Then people will be interested. We have got so many things in our culture, so many important things. Are we able to reflect this into this film? We reflect, as I think Kumar Bose was mentioning, or was it Manju Bora, that so many beauties are there. Those beauties of the state of Manipur, of the society, the human relationship. We are known for our culture, for our sports, and all. These should be brought into the film, into the movie making. Then people will get interest. People will try to see. Say, look at again this very famous, very outstanding short feature film, or whatever it is, Imagining Them. There it reflects the human relationship between a mother and a child who was brought home fresh. The kind of emotional attachment, emotional sort of things, those are the things people are, by and large, human beings are quite simple. They want to see simple relationship which are very, very important for the human relationship. Those are the things which I think needs to be thought of, needs to be reflected. It's not merely a love story or merely this thing, that thing. There has to be some value added to the film. Some where the importance or the emphasis that we want to give. Those are brought out. Simple thing, I've seen, I do not go to movies very often, but I used to go in my school days, my college days. I still remember this movie, Fiddler on the Roof. I think many of you must have seen Fiddler on the Roof. It's such a beautiful, where the clash between, this tradition and the change that take place. And it was so well brought out in that the father, when he finds that he could not control his daughters because they are changing the tradition. And those are the kind of things. That sort of conflict also takes place in our society, in Manipur also. So many things. Now, the earlier joint family system is breaking up, single family system are coming up, the problems that are coming up, all those things need to be depicted. With that, how to solve it out, how it can be done, and all these things. No, I'm just trying to share some of my thought. If we are able to give emphasis on all these things, I think Manipuri cinema will be able to bring back the audience, and as I said, you are very lucky today. The earlier government never bothered about arts and the artists. Today, Sri N. Biren Singh has got his lots of ideas, but this is also another nobody thought of. I think this thing has not been thought of in other states. Assam does not think about taking care of the welfare of the artists. And the government, I'm also part of the government, I'm the deputy CM. I'm also fully behind him in thinking that we need, or in our thought, in our determination that we need to give backup to the artists and the Manipuri cinema. Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, it's a time, completion of 50 years, it's a time for us to introspect, as I said, from here where to. Let's try to bring about a change. Let's try to bring our ethos, our philosophy, our beliefs, and the simple human relationship, all these things in the cinema. That would definitely regenerate the Manipuri cinema. That is what I believe. I would not like to take much more time. With these few words, I would like to conclude my presidential address. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Sri Waijoy Kumar Singh, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister Manipur, Nasiki Thorungi, Thorummapo and President Punelingsin Beba, Yamaru Babapam, Presidential Speech Kimarakta Tambiramba Manipuri Cinema, Gidamakta Tambiramba Maksi, Kuna Kangsin Jabaglu, Uncle Tagas of Pondoxeri, Luanina, Senjariba formal function Sigi, Pontoxeri Torum Sigi, Loisila Putanzani, Nasigi, Lapiri Bakwai Punmapamda, Word of Thanks, Tambinabag Damag, Sri NG Uttam, Director Art and Culture, Coxinjari.
Ngasi Manipur State Film Development Society na siliba Manipuri cinema gi chahi yangkhai surak pagi thorum hogdokpa sida chief guest oina lengsin biriba ikai khumnazaraba Honorable Chief Minister Manipur mingwaina panjarabada Sri N. Biren Singh Organizing Committee gi taraptagi hamadi department gi taraptagi hainingai leitana thagatpa phongdokchari Honorable Sir na film khaktang natana tongan ba art form sing artist sing bu matau karamna pungning thawet kadage matau karamna hanadagi thawang na leiraba ekoi gi art form sing je hena wangkhal hangadage maruina ahal oira ba artist sing makoida angamba mateng sarkar gi maikaidagi matau karamna pigani mayon chongkhalaiba chatra chatri sing artist sing da matau karamna support pigani haibagi wakhalonda Chief Minister ki artist sing ki tengbang hogdokpi bagi damakta artist sing ki mahut sinjaraga ina thagatpa phongdokchari loina na ngasi gi thoram asisu Honorable Sir ki achin bakhra leibadagi yauraroi haina torambadagi artist community ki khallaga film fraternity ki khallaga amuk ma yaudaba yade haina phongdokpiraga achin ba kaya kaithoga yaubi bagi damakta hainangai letana thagatpa phongdokchari loina na Ngasigi Thoram Mapu in a Lengsin Biriba, Kai Kumnazaraba, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, Mingwaina Panjaravada Sri Waijoy Kumar, Organizers Singna, Thoramasi Aubiu, Thoramasigi, Daiski Lighting, Oibiu, Hajarubada, Harau Yabirakpa, Amadinga Sigi Thoramasida, Yamna, Mariksum Abawapam Kaya Thambiduna, Aikoi Pumna Maki Pugning Loksing, Oyan Bibagi Damakta, Honorable Sarbusu, Tagapa Pongdokchari. And then I would also like to thank Srimati Manju Bora, filmmaker. Secretary MSFDF suggested that we should invite Srimati Manju Bora and Sri Sivendra Singh. And we did that, and you have kindly accepted our invitation. We are extremely glad for that. And we are inspired. And thank you, Manjuji, for inspiring the young filmmakers of the state by being here. And I would thank Sri Sivendra Singh for your valuable insights on preservations. Now, we have been thinking of this subject for quite some time, but we were not able to materialize. But today is the beginning. Our Honorable CM has already opened one archive and museum room. So this is the beginning, and I would like to thank for your valuable insights. Aduga aikhoi ngasigi thorom asi yawba lengbiraiba mayam singsigi manungda amuk I would also like to thank Sri Kumar Bose. You have taken all the trouble to be here, and I'm especially thankful to you for the challenge you took 50 years ago, the courage you have shown 50 years ago, and I feel your challenge, your courage has made all the difference in the history of Manipuri cinema. Your challenge was actually a turning point for the Manipuri cinema as well as in your career. And I would also thank your son, Devasis Bose, for accompanying you, for bringing you here. Thank you, sir. And aikoigi marakta laiteng oina lengsin biribi mayam pumna magna ikai khumna biribi chema yengkhom Roma, renowned film actor. Film da thabak tawbiram badana tana hojik phawbada lepa laitana aikoigi department gi art and culture gi film ga mari leinama kainomata haijarubada adum matam pumbada harau harau lengbirakpa aina ojabusu hainingai leitana thamoidagi nungaiba amadi thagatpa phongdokchari makha tarakpadasu ojana adum aikoi bulamjing lamtak pigini masigi damakta ai hainingai leitana thagatpa phongdokchari. Lastly but not the least, I would like to thank Aikoigi organizing committee sing, members sing, subcommittee sing, ngasigi thoramasida, hobudagi loibo yaubi riba volunteers sing, film personalities, special invitees, media gi ichilinau sing, program asibu phajana conduct taubi riba Aikoigi anchor sing, pumna makku subsan jaraga organizing committee gi taraptagi thagat pagal loinana Manipuri film ase hena chaukhatpa hena mangzil thaba ma oirasunu aina ishorgi mafamda nizarga tension jari. Thank you.
Thank you so much, respected Sir N.G. Uttam Singh, Director, Art and Culture. Ngasigi thorom asigi thagat warol vote of thanks marichumna thambiramba haningai litana thagat pafongdok chari.
Loinana thamjakriba wapum sigal loinana ngasigi thorom si hodoksuba matamda thamjarba formal function gi thorom si matang asida losinjare ne laptop sari president gi abasu logjari ado ikoi gi thorom di lujabadi natri sigi formal function sigi hek matangda minute chamaga taruk sangba Manipur gi hanba it was in 1972 on the 9th April 1972 maduda utkiba matamgi Manipur hariba film sing si once again retrospection ni amutang hangan yenga ikoi gi history Manipur cinema gi madu ningsing minaba wena film si capture the screen dogzagadori lakuriba khoi pon manga sigi screening of the film matamgi Manipur sweden being tabu haiba film simasu thamjari.